Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome in. I just want to cover a few things in today's video. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Everybody that celebrates out there, happy holiday season, obviously, and New Year's upcoming. So, wow, we're almost to the end. Thank goodness. Okay, almost to the end. First off, let me just cover some stuff personal in my personal life. So, if you didn't know, I had a baby a few days ago. So, yeah, baby number 3. Slight complications, but nothing major. Mommy's healthy, baby's healthy, so everything is good there. 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and yeah, excited. So yeah, third boy, 3 boys now. So yeah, that happened. So obviously I kind of took the last, 4 or 5 days off from YouTube and kind of everything and just kind of zoned out a little bit, which is always healthy. But you know what's interesting is even when I take some time off, even if I take some time off from YouTube or whatever, man, I can't ever take time off from looking into stocks. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I'm still going to be listening to conference calls. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday time of year or what's going on. Like, I just love it, man. So that's something I can never get away from. But anyway, so yeah, thank goodness. Okay, so we're almost to the end, okay, of December, which I've looked at as a time period that I am just so dang happy we're almost there because, you know, the tax loss harvesting and everything like that, you know, it's about to end finally. So there's a difference in the market between when you have a time period essentially where people choose to sell based upon fundamental reason, right? Like, let's say they don't believe in a stock anymore. Let's say they sell based upon they want to take their profit, whatever, right? That's like a fundamental decision, or they don't like the management team, whatever, right? They don't like the business model anymore. There's some major competitor came in. Now they're like, oh, they're not going to be able to win this anymore. There's a difference between like that type of selling and people looking at it and saying, I've got, you know, $20,000 worth of stock gains this year. I got a position I'm down 20,000 on. Well, I could sell that, buy it back in 60 days, or I could pay $20,000 in tax and still hold that stock, right? And so a lot of people it's like a no-brainer for them, right? And so it puts this enormous amount of selling pressure, especially if there's stocks that people are down big on, which there's a lot of them, right? And so this has been the most vicious tax loss harvesting year ever since I've been in the stock market, and by a mile. It's not even close. I can't ever remember a year that was this vicious. It's just the way it got set up, right? You got a lot of people make a lot of money in the front half of the year from stocks. And when I say people, I'm talking about individual investors. I'm talking about, you know, your mom and pop investor. I'm talking about funds. I'm talking about everybody, right? Making a lot of money early in the year, taking profits long-term and short-term. And then essentially, you know, being in the situation where they got all these gains and like, oh, that's right, there's taxes. No one up front pays their taxes, right? No one does that. Like, if you sell a stock and you make $10,000 on it, no one's like, okay, let me go pay my, no. Okay, you wait till the last moment possible, which is the upcoming tax season, and that's when you pay. And this is the time of year when people are looking and they're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot. I've got all these gains and I got, you know, stocks that I'm down on. So that happens, right? So essentially, we're almost finally to that period that it's over. And that I love because, you know, it's painful, and I've loaded up on these stocks as they've gone down the last couple months, and I've loaded, and I've gotten to my lowest cash levels since December of 2018. I'm to my lowest cash level since December of 2018. So I'm ready for an uptick. You know, that, like, I'm ready for an uptick, especially in my stocks. I have really almost no fear in my stocks right now. You know, the fact that tax loss harvesting is about to be behind us. And, you know, I think a lot of these companies are going to report really good earnings over the next several quarters, not just the next quarter, but like several quarters in the future. So yeah, it puts me in a situation where I'm pretty darn confident. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Now, in terms of any earnings, there's really no earnings this upcoming week. This is a week that volume should be down again. You know, a lot of folks on Wall Street just kind of take this time period off. So expect very low volumes. Volume should return next week. So not this upcoming week, but next week, volume should start coming back in the market. You should get more trading activity, more moves in general from stocks out there. You'll get more just everything at that particular time period. Don't be surprised, okay? If the Rona numbers go insane over the next few weeks, you know, the holiday season, so many families, friends, everybody getting together, holiday parties, stuff like that. You know, I'm seeing it like usually a pretty good gauge if you keep track of sports at all. And you know, if you watch ESPN ever, like right now, it's like this player's out, all for Rona, right? So this is one of those time periods that the numbers are probably going to go crazy. Does the market freak out of that? I don't know. I think, if you were to look at this logically, well, if everybody gets it, then you know what's going to happen come the springtime? The numbers are going to go, boom, they're going to skyrocket down because it's like everybody's going to have already gotten the crap, or, a huge segment of the population that could get it will have already gotten it, right? And so all of a sudden springtime comes and the numbers tank down. And that's exactly what I expect. I'm no doctor. I just look at stuff, okay? So that's what I expect. Like, come late February into March and then to April, the numbers should tank down massively, okay? But don't be surprised if over the next few weeks, the numbers go crazy and maybe that freaks out the market a little bit. There's not a lot to freak out with, to be honest. You look at a stock like, let's say Amazon, for instance. Amazon's not a stock that's been running hot into this earnings season, right? Amazon's hasn't gone anywhere as far as the stock price since, August of 2020. Literally August of 2020, the stock was $3,400, and today it's around that roughly, right? And so that's not like, oh wow, that stock's been tearing it up. So if Amazon, if anything, it probably has upside potential rather than downside potential. Apple, Apple I think is trading rich, but at the same time, man, they're gonna report a pretty darn good holiday season. So that's a tough thing with Apple. They're gonna report some pretty dang good numbers. It's just flat out like, I went to the Apple store this holiday season, and that place is as busy, if not busier, than I've ever seen it. And you got a lot of these small cap companies that I think are going to come back big time over the next 6 months, and the reason being is, I think a lot of them are going to report good numbers, and you got a lot of money that's moved to the sideline, outflowed out of these stocks with the tax loss harvesting that is going to be coming back in January and February. You compound that with pretty good return, earnings for a lot of these companies it's like, oh no, it's not the end of the world. They're actually reporting really good numbers. And when you got a substantially low stock price and you got some of these stocks that are heavily shorted, you can get some massive moves. And that's why I've said, some of these stocks could move 50%, if not more than 50% in a matter of, a few weeks. Like, it's not even like you have to wait like that long. Like, it could happen in a matter of a few weeks. I think Purple, PRPO, perfect stock to see this have played out very recently. That stock climbed 50, 70, 80% in a matter of a few weeks, like Purple. That's one of those stocks that just get getting hammered, and it just turned. And it turned fast, right? And so I think that's going to happen with a lot of these stocks, especially a lot of these small cap companies that have good long-term growth stories that people are excited about. When they turn, it's going to be crazy, and the short sellers are going to have to cover in mass really quickly. And when you got this money that's on the sideline that's outflowed out of these stocks all coming back into the stocks at the same time, right? The moves to upside can be vicious, no different than the moves to the downside has been vicious over the past few weeks, not just a few weeks, but the past few months with the tax loss harvesting, right? Because you have just compounding of selling, makes more selling, and you got the dominoes falling the wrong way. Now things are about to flip and the dominoes are going to go the other way. So anywho, that's all going on. As far as videos this upcoming week, I got some pretty exciting ones. So I'm going to be doing a video on my top 5 biggest stock market investments now. I think, I think a lot of people know the Chef's going to be one of those top 5, right? But where does that rank on the list? Is that my biggest now? And just with all the buying that I've been doing over the past several months and getting so low on cash, like what are my top 5 stocks now? I don't think a lot of people could tell me what the top 5 biggest positions. There's some stocks I talk about a lot, but they might not even be a top 5 position. So do a video like that this week. Going to do a video on 3 stocks I'm buying January 2022 edition. So I'll do something like that. And maybe some of my favorite dividend stocks for 2022. And maybe a video on my favorite growth stocks for 22. We'll just see, guys. So anyways, much love as always. Appreciate you guys. Just want to give you a little update video here before we get back rocking and rolling this week. And have a great day.